Royalty, royalty.
It's that good. So Leviticus 10:3. And it says, Then Moshe said unto Aaron, This is it that Yahuwah spake, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come nigh me, and before all the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. Okay? So we're gonna start off, and it's kind of progressive. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different words for glory. Wow. Right? See, Yah is very, very specific when he says something. So some things apply to some people, some things only apply to him, some things apply to the nation. So when we look up words, most people say glory, kavod. That's glory. Right? And I'm like, well, yes, that's glory. But then that glory isn't explained in the other words that relate to that word. And so one of the teachers that we listen to, and he's a writer, and he's slipping my mind right now, Brad Scott, was talking about how the Hebrew letters have a positive and negative charge. And although the letters are not necessarily the same exact word put together, they all positive words are going to carry the same meaning, and all negative words are going to carry the same meaning. Okay? So if something's evil, then all those evil things are then evil. And if something's good or functional, then all those functional things are then functional. Right? So they still make up the functional part. So the first one, kavod, is this one that Yah's talking about. So in this situation, Nadab and Abihu go in, they offer up strange smoke, Yah drops them, and then he tells Aaron, and don't you cry, because people who say they're coming nigh to me are going to glorify me, right? So this word in this context means honor someone or something that is heavy in weight, wealth, importance, or respect, and respect, okay? So some background verses for that are Exodus 20:12, Exodus 16:17, Numbers 14:22, and Psalm 19:2, okay? So the next one, right? There's a word kara, and you've heard if you've been through Leviticus with us, you've heard the term vayikara, because that's what Leviticus is, right? And he said, and it was said, right? And so it's, let me erase this. So it is Kof, as my brain, Resh, Aleph. This word, in this sense, right, it has another idea of glory, and it means to call or to read a scroll in the presence of those who are in a meeting, bringing together or arranging on accident or on purpose, or gathering men. Okay. So the idea of being called, obviously, is a glory. You're called into a particular place to receive a particular word. You are then being glorified just by being called out, and you'll see why. Okay. The next word is, and it's a 2-letter root, and it has a 3-letter root, but I'm going to give you the 2-letter root first. It is the word, it's par or per, and it's from the word for fruit. It's peri, is fruit, not Paris, but peri. So it's pei, resh, right? And it has to do with the head. The head of grains are scattered on the threshing floor, right? So in the last illustrations, a person's called, and what's put into them is the word, or the seed, right? Second picture is the pei and the resh. It has to do with the head of grains, and it's scattered on the threshing floor, and the ox, or the strong leader, then walks over and crushes the grain in order to reveal the seed inside. So you see the progression? You have the kavod, which is heavy. You have the people getting the word put into them. But then he's going to crush to make sure that the word is in there to go and get the seed back, right? Okay, so then the next picture, the next word or word picture, is the idea of to be placed in a protected place. So it's another picture of glorifying or glory or weight or importance, right? So it's Sadi, sorry about my Sadi, Bet, Yod. And it means to be placed in a protected place or a wall that encloses inside. So if you know anything about storage of grain, once that shredding process is done, then the grain is then taken and put into a place to be protected from, obviously, pestilence or thieves or other things, right? Okay, So, and it also has to mean, it also can mean an abundance of livestock. So it means a large gathering of something that's protected. Okay, the next word then is the idea where we see this a lot. It's called Adorat. So I'm going to write that one down. So it's Aleph, Dalet, Resh, Tav. And it's the word for robe, which is very, very interesting, right? That robe has to do with glory. So when something is glorified or has majesty, then it's given a cloak of authority, right? So we see this picture obviously in the Hamashiach where he's given glory, or he's going to be crowned as the king. We see that Joseph is given this robe, and what's very interesting in comparing Joseph to a type of Messiah is that when he's given this particular robe or authority for being obedient, then the people hate him, right? Because you have a lot of people who are in this walk who are non-messianic. You hate the fact that somebody was obedient, so you're going to pretty much destroy the testimony of somebody who walked righteously, because then they were given something to show their obedience, right? Okay, so the next word, I told you there's another one, and it's pa'ar. So pei, Aleph, Resh. This word has to do with a turban, right? So we always think of a crown as Greco-Roman, Western style crown with this gold pointy thing. Not saying that's not a crown, but a crown or something that was beautiful was a turban or a head wrap. So a person is then given a robe and a turban, and it's beautiful, and it shows this idea of being glorified, right? Okay, the next one is splendor. Okay, so same word is translated as glory in your Bible, and it's hey, vav, dalet, hod, and it has to do with shouting out or majesty or comeliness, right? So if you're following this trend, then you've already picked up where I'm going with this. So you have Yah, and he's the one that's weighty. He's a strong leader. He's the one that's going to tread out his people in order to reveal the seed inside. So everybody's all confused about what's happening right now, but what I'm realizing is that as he's treading out our people, more people, as they're being crushed, are revealing their seed inside. They're like, oh, you know what? Nothing else is working. Let me get back to the word. Let me get back to what's stored inside of me, right? But after they've been tread out, then he has to gather them in order to protect them, right? And then he glorifies them, and he gives them a crown, and he gives them a robe. And so the next word is to, it's called Shabak. And it's Shin, Bet, Het. And it means still, or a calm, quiet, soothing speaking in order to soothe someone, right? And that's to do also with to refrain from moving in order to satisfy fullness. So as you're going through the idea of glory, and as Yah is beginning to glorify his people, he has to first, what? Show that first, all those who draw near to me have to do so in truth, right? Or you can't follow me, like Nadab and Abihu. The next thing is, you have to be called, and you have to be given the word. Then once you get the word, I have to tread you out to make sure that the word is inside you. I have to take all the out and external things away to see if that actually got deposited into good soil. Then after that, then I put you in a protected place, and I glorify you, right? And I crown you. But then you wait. And so what I'm doing right now is giving you the last part, which is the stillness and the quietness. You wait. What do you have to worry about when the process has already begun? We're not the kavod. He's taking care of that part, right? He's already called us. We're getting the word, right? We're in the treading out process. After the treading out process, then comes the crowning and the robing. And as you wait, you sit and you wait for him to then do what he's supposed to do. So the last word, and let me give you verses for that. Isaiah 42:1 and Isaiah 44:23. I'm going to read these. And then the last one is this. The Isaiah of, it's Zadi Bet Aleph. And it means to mobilize. So after I've honored myself and you've respected me, after I've given you my word, after I've treaded you out to make sure that my word is in you, after I've crowned you and I've shown everybody that this is the people and this is the light, you wait, and then I mobilize you. Okay? So I'm going to read those two verses. So Isaiah 42:1. Never thought I'd do that. It says, behold my servant whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him, and he shall bring forth judgment unto the Gentiles. Right? So there's a process that has to take place. Isaiah 44:23. Says, thou hast not brought me. Oh, Isaiah 44:23. Give me 1 second. Oh, sing, O ye heavens, for Yahuwah hath done it. Shout, ye lower parts of the earth, break forth into singing, ye mountains. O forest, and every tree therein, for Yahuwah hath redeemed Jacob, and glorified himself in Israel. That's the finishing part of glory. It starts with him, but then we receive the glory for worshiping and following him and going through the process. And it has to do with enduring it all the way to the end. That's the enduring to the end. Waiting out so that you receive this portion.
Royalty. Royalty.